Hi there. These comments are for CR. I'm using your initials for privacy purposes. And let's see what we got going on in your life right now. He says, "Hi, Michael. I hope you and your family are healthy and well. It's been a while since we last spoke. I had a pretty tiring week." I'm going to use a semicolon here instead of a comma so you don't have that comma splice. It says, "So I tried a short sample test. This is the only free test available. I cannot afford any more expenses." You want to make this plural. I got 27 for reading and 30 for listening, right? So let's look at this for a minute. So 27, and then listening you have 30. So because it's let's just say because it's a free test, probably not that accurate. Let's subtract at least 5 points from each one. So let's say 22 on the reading, let's say 25 on the listening, right? So I know that it's not as accurate as a real test since it's pretty simplified, but I think it's good practice for practice. It's good for practice purposes. Now, since it's a free test, the speaking and writing sections were not graded. Hence, I'm sending you both questions and my answers attached in this email for your grading. Again, I would put a semicolon or period here so you avoid that comma splice. Go to Google. What is a comma splice? How do you avoid comma splices in academic writing? Those are your keywords, buddy. Check it out. I've seen that error 2 times now in this email. Say, would you mind grading them, considering it's still within your requirement, 1 writing and 1 speaking per day? I'm going to do it right now. Say, anyway, Michael, I'm thinking of sending the email's body and recordings for future emails just for my practical purpose. Would you mind hearing my recording instead of reading my email? Don't mind. You can do that. I have students do that all the time, and it's a great way to practice your speaking. But try to limit your emails to 1 email per day. That makes it easier for me. And I don't get like 2,000 emails every day. I get over 100 no matter what. Okay, let's keep going. Say, also, I have a query regarding my speaking skills. In my opinion, the same error, buddy. Let's give you a period this time. You must solve comma splices. In my opinion, my speaking skills are not really good, even though I deal with native speakers almost every day in my line of work. Do you have any advice? Again, this is the noun. That's the verb. You need the noun form here. Do you have any advice on how to really improve? Because I really want to improve my speaking skills. Please don't tell me that I'm not curable. You're not curable. I'm not going to say that. I mean, come on here. What can I tell you? Give me a quick second here. How about... my advice is, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do to improve your speaking, right? And I'm going to listen to your speaking practice test here in just a minute. I'm going to listen to we're going to read your writing here also. But to help you with your speaking, believe it or not, I've had people improve their speaking through gaming, using a headset, mic here. They play gaming with other people who speak English. And they've improved their English skills quite a bit just by doing gaming. Think about that, gaming for a minute. That's one way that you can do it. In addition, you need to find opportunities to speak English, right? Talk to native speakers any way you can. Be creative in your process there. Okay, not just non-native speakers, but try to talk with native speakers. That can really help you improve your speaking. So that's something that you can think about also. All right, so let's get down to it. Let me listen to your speaking and then also read your writing, and then we can complete what I think your overall TOEFL score is based on all this data. So once I have an estimate on your speaking and an estimate on your writing, then we can look at a cumulative score to see what your level is right now.
All right, Chris, so let's listen to the speaking first and let's see how we're doing there, and then I will do the writing in just a minute. So, okay, I think the speaking task is, what is the best part of your personality, right? Give reasons and examples to support your opinion.
Okay, so my best part of my personality, in my opinion, is I am ambitious. I would like to finish what I already started. In terms of example, I can give you an example in work or maybe any tasks. So if my boss or my teacher give me a task or an assignment, I will do anything that I can in terms of finishing the work so that everything can be done in a proper manner and in timely manner before the deadline comes.
Okay.
That's what I like best about. Okay.
All right, Chris. So my first impression after listening to your response is you're in the 2 range on the speaking, right? So let's see what we have here. Basically intelligible, listener effort is needed. Unclear articulation, yes. Awkward intonation, yes. Choppy rhythm pace, very tough. You got a lot of starts and stops, a lot of hesitations, a lot of pauses there. I think that your grammar vocabulary is a little bit limited. I think that's also a pretty big problem. And then the response is connected to the task. It says mostly basic ideas are expressed with limited elaboration, details, and support. At many times, relevant substance may be vaguely expressed or repetitious. Connection of ideas may be unclear. So, my first impression is I'm going to just say 14 points out of 30. That would be a pretty good estimation here. Now, let's listen to it one more time, and I'm going to give you some feedback so you can kind of understand where you're coming from, where I'm coming from, and why I'm giving you the score that I am.
Okay, so my best part.
Okay, so, no, you don't need any of that. Just get right into your response, right? You don't need any hedges. You don't need anything to add to what you're saying. Include a topic statement, introduce 2 support points, and then develop those in the response.
Of my personality, in my opinion, is I am ambitious.
This is good, but I am ambitious. No, you don't have rising tone at the end of the sentence. Your tone needs to fall. So I'm guessing that you speak Spanish or maybe Italian or something. So you need to have intonation that falls at the end of the sentence.
I would like to finish what I already started in terms of.
So how about you say my most important quality is ambition, and then maybe you can give 2 specific examples that illustrate that ambitious idea.
Example, I can give you an example.
No, no, no. Just say not I can give you an example. Just say, for instance, when I blah, blah, blah. So don't spend more time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or you will hear this, you will hear that. Don't spend any time doing any of those things. Spend time on developing the argument in the response.
In work or maybe any tasks. So if my boss or my teacher give me an.
If my boss or teacher gives me, you want to make that the third person S, but you just have too many pauses in there. It's taking you too long to get to your points.
A task or an assignment, I will
And it's assignment, not assignment. So the S is an S. Now, sometimes it's a Z, but in that case, it is pronounced as an S.
do anything that I can.
Notice how you're saying task and anything. You're speaking in very vague terms. You see where it says here? It says substance may be vaguely expressed. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You need to be much more specific in the ideas that you're explaining. Right? You're explaining mostly basic ideas with limited elaboration and support there. So that's a topic development area.
In terms of finishing the work so that everything can.
What work? Everything again. Do you have a specific example that you can use? that can help you support these general ideas?
Can be done in a proper manner and in timely manner before the deadline comes. That's what I like best about.
Okay, so I think that my score is pretty accurate. So what do? Right? Okay, so you're one of my students, you're enrolled in my course, right? So here are my suggestions. So based on your speaking estimated score of 14 points, right? Really spend time in both pronunciation and also speaking. You want to do both. Both are important for you, right? Do pronunciation practice one day, maybe speaking practice the next. When you're doing the pronunciation practice, right, focus a lot on intonation. That's pronunciation lessons 36 through 40. You can also focus on thought groups and blending. I think that's going to also help you. That's pronunciation lessons 41 through 44. So work hard on improving both your intonation and also your thought groups and blending, and that also helps you for your delivery. Now, the most important lesson in the speaking section of my course you can study right now, it's TOEFL Speaking Lesson 1. It's a master lesson. It's called TOEFL Independent Speaking Strategies. Study that lesson for about 2 weeks. It's a very long lesson, has a lot of detail in there. Really focus on learning the principles in that lesson. That's going to be very helpful for you. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is get to your writing. So now we know that your reading subtotal score is 22, your listening subtotal score is 25, your speaking subtotal score is 14, but we still need to figure out your writing. That's the next step. Okay, I just looked at your writing, and believe it or not, your speaking and writing are at the same level. I put you at 2.0 out of 5, about 14 points out of 30. So that's kind of where you are right now. So let's take a look at the IBT rubrics for just a minute so you can understand why I gave you this score that I did. So you guys, if you're looking at this right now, Chris, so 2... It says limited development in response to the topic and task. Yes. You put everything in one paragraph. Are you kidding me? No, you need about 5 paragraphs with this kind of writing. You need to put each paragraph with a single topic and write about that topic for over 100 to 150 words. So not enough development. I think that your essay was about 302 words. It's not going to get it. The second problem, inadequate organization or connection of ideas. Yes, this exactly describes your writing right now, unfortunately. Again, you tried to put everything into a single paragraph, and then you have your conclusion. Never do that again. Don't do it. The next one, inappropriate, insufficient examples or details to support generalizations. Yes. You have problems in that area. Noticeably inappropriate choice of words or word forms, accumulation of errors. I haven't noticed this as much. I haven't paid that much attention, but I can tell you, you have at least 3 major problems with the writing right now. Now, if you want me to error correct the essay, I have a TOEFL private lessons. I'll be more than happy to go over the essay with you if you need me to. It does cost additional a payment. But if you want more detail, you can get it. But the main thing is, we're looking at the essay right now. You don't want to do this. In my opinion, your social political views are not meant to be kept within yourself, but should not be shared publicly as well. But what kind of a topic sentence is that? It doesn't really focus anything. So you have to have a better argument. And it really comes to the thesis here. So you don't really have a good thesis statement. You don't have clearly marked topic sentences. And then you really need to have a conclusion which restates those ideas. So the best thing you can do here is I got 2 main lessons for you right now based on your writing skills that I think will help you. All right, so let's talk about that for a minute. I have what's called a TOEFL. In my online TOEFL course is 7 steps. You want to focus on TOEFL writing lesson number 1. It's a master lesson. It's called Independent Writing Strategies. Go through that lesson for the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's a very heavy lesson, very detailed lesson, but you need to master the concepts in that lesson. That will help you develop your thesis. It will help you develop topic sentences. It'll teach you how to support those topics with specific telling detail. So you need to do that. Now, the other lesson that's going to be very helpful for you right now, it's writing lesson number 8. Go through that lesson. It will teach you paragraph unity and then 4 cohesive devices to help unify your writing. So you need to go through that lesson also. So I think if you do that, that's going to really help you and prepare you, I think, for the TOEFL exam. Okay, so what do we got? On my notebook paper here I'm looking at, right? So I can now figure out your TOEFL score. So let's assume that you have a 22, a 25, a 14, and a 14, right? So let's figure that out right now. I'm going to use my phone here. And nope, I don't have a smartphone. I have this. You can see it. I've never bought a smartphone. So 22 on the reading. We got 25 on the listening, right? I'm guessing you're right around 70, 75. You have 14 on the speaking and 14 on the writing. So your TOEFL score right now is 75%. That's assuming that your reading subtotal is 22, listening is 25, and I believe that my speaking and writing subtotal scores are pretty accurate. So that puts you at 75%, or 75 points out of 120. All right, so there you go. Thank you for watching my video. You now have your speaking practice test evaluated, your writing practice test is evaluated, and we're able to calculate an overall TOEFL score based on the reading and the listening scores that you also told me. All right? And keep up the good work.